You can hum these choruses, but ask who sang them, and the room goes quiet. That's the magic and curse of the one-hit wonder. Tonight we're counting 15 pop lightning strikes from the 1970s, songs that hit once and echoed forever. From disco floors to soft rock sunsets, we'll break down why each track exploded and why the follow-up didn't. Quick rules: US Billboard Hot 100 only, one top 40 hit per artist, no repeats. Turn it up, drop your own pick in the comments, and see if your memory matches the list. Let's start the countdown. Number 15. US number 15. A city at night, yellow lines racing past the windshield. That's the feeling driver's seat puts in your chest from the first drum hit. The groove is tight and unhurried, almost like a steady heartbeat, and the guitars paint in thin neon lines around it. Paul Roberts sings like a man trying to stay cool while the world is changing in the rearview mirror, half romantic, half detached. The chorus isn't a shout, it's a shrug that somehow sticks. What made it cut through in 1979 is the blend, a new wave polish on a classic pop engine. You can hear the band's discipline. Every part earns its space. From the clipped rhythm guitar to the gliding synth hooks, it sounded modern without scaring radio. They didn't turn that moment into a long run because timing and identity worked against them. The group had lineup shifts right as the single was breaking, and the follow-ups didn't land a bigger, clearer story for US radio. Still, the song refused to die. It kept popping up in films and commercials, getting rediscovered by new ears who didn't even know the band's name. That's the quiet power of a one-hit wonder. The track becomes the face. If you've ever driven after midnight with this on, you know why it endures. Cool on the surface, restless underneath.
Hey, Pop Lore family. Did you know only 1% of viewers are subscribed? If you love deep dives into pop legends, forgotten gems, and the stories behind the songs that shaped generations, hit that subscribe button right now. And don't forget to turn on LL notifications so you'll be the first to know when we premiere our next video. It's free, it helps Pop Lore grow, and it makes sure you never miss a single countdown or music story. Let's build this community together.
US number 1. This isn't bubblegum. It's a sleek late 70s pop record with a hard streetlight glare. Gilder came out of glam rock, and you can hear that DNA. Tight riffs, a high, almost brittle vocal, everything built for sharp impact. The story he's telling is darker than the title suggests. The city as a hunting ground, the fast life with a cost. That tension, shiny on top, uneasy underneath, made it impossible to ignore.
Young boys.
It also helped that the record is immaculately crafted. A lean verse that sprints to a chorus you can sing once and never forget. Yet Gilder couldn't follow it with another US smash under his own name. Part of that is the curse of a song that big. When radio, audiences, and labels want that again, anything different sounds wrong, and anything the same sounds smaller. Ironically, Gilder proved he wasn't a fluke by writing hits for others later. He had the pen, but the market had already filed him as the guy from that song. Listen back now, and you hear the bridge between glam's glitter and new wave steel. Tight, bright, and walking a dark street. US Northern 5. This is disco as invitation, not lecture. Bridges opens the door, the lights come up, and the bass line starts smiling. The verses ride a soulful pocket, and then the chorus floats up like a mirror ball, catching every color in the room. Her voice is warm and assured, with just enough grit to keep it from sugar. The record hits because it's about the feeling of being seen and alive in a crowd. Music not just as sound, but as a place you can go. A twist most people miss. Bridges wasn't a one-note disco diva. She wrote the song, had rock and soul roots, and never wanted to live only in one lane. After 1978, the disco wave crashed in America, and many artists who rode that crest got dragged out with it, no matter how good they were. But the song refused to age.
All over town, you can love them all, and when you're through, maybe.
It resurfaced again and again in film and TV because its charm is simple and universal. You've had a long week, you put on something you love, and the night starts to glow. Few records bottle that feeling so cleanly. When the chorus hits, you remember why dance floors matter. They give ordinary people an extraordinary moment. US number 3. Bluesman writes a ballad, hands the mic to a young tenor, and lightning strikes. Elvin Bishop was a respected guitarist long before this single, but it's Mickey Thomas's soaring vocal that turns the song into a soft rock standard. Listen to how the arrangement breathes. Patient drums, an easy bass walk, and then those guitar lines that answer the vocal without crowding it. The lyric is classic pop storytelling. Player catches real feelings and admits it with a grin he can't hide.
I get out my book and write down a name.
Why only one big US hit? Because Bishop's home base was the blues root circuit, not pop radio. This track crossed over so strongly, it almost disguised who he was the rest of the time. You can spend a career being excellent at one thing and still be remembered by the one time you stepped outside it. That's not a knock. It's proof of how perfectly this record hit its target. Decades on, it keeps returning in new contexts, from wedding playlists to blockbuster soundtracks, because it's built on an honest confession and a melody that feels like a warm evening breeze. When the last chorus lifts, you don't think about categories. You think about the first time you got blindsided by love.
And I decided quickly. Yes, I did.
US number 1. Few songs carry their own origin myth in the hook. The band was grinding it out live when someone in the crowd threw a line at them about playing funky music. Rob Parisi flipped that into a chant and a groove that sounded like sweat on a packed dance floor. The guitar is clipped and rubbery, the bass locks in a pocket you could live in, and the chant is basically an instruction manual for having a good time. It's funk filtered through rock, delivered with a wink, and it hit the center of American radio like a bullseye. The follow-ups couldn't repeat the trick, because you can't bottle a moment twice. The magic here is lightning in a bar band, a real-life phrase, a band with the chops to build a track around it, and a country suddenly ready to dance. Over time, the song became bigger than the group, sampled, quoted, shouted at parties by people who weren't born when it topped the charts. That's the hallmark of a true one-hit wonder. The track turns into a cultural reflex. You don't decide to sing it, it just jumps out of you when the DJ leans on the beat. US number 1. 4 voices, 1 wink, and a sky full of sunshine. Afternoon Delight is soft rock at its most feather-light. Tight harmonies, finger-picked guitar, and a melody that floats like a kite on a warm day. The group came out of Washington, D.C.'s folk scene. Bill Danoff and Taffy Nivert had written with John Denver, and you can hear that craft in the way the parts lock together. Nothing is left to chance. Verses step up neatly to a chorus that sounds simple, but is stacked with careful vocal arranging. It's pure ear candy, and radio in 1976 couldn't resist it. Part of the secret is tone. The lyrics carry a cheeky double meaning, but the performance stays smiling and light, never heavy or crude. That let the record live in 2 places at once, safe for daytime radio, sly enough for adults in on the joke. The singles smash brought them a huge spotlight, and even a major award, but the very perfection of this sound made it hard to repeat. How do you follow a song that everyone already thinks they understand in a single word? The band tried TV, more records, and touring, but nothing matched the charm of that first glide. Today, it plays like a postcard from a softer pop era, polished, sunny, and impossible not to hum.
Right below in the morning.
US to 5. Ho, 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 it's magic, is the kind of hook that sounds like it's always existed. Pilot, a tight Scottish pop group, built the song on bright acoustic strums, glassy keys, and a rhythm section that never hurries. Producer sock engineer Alan Parsons keeps the edges clean. You can hear the space around every instrument. David Payton's vocal skims over the top with a grin that feels effortless. This is soft rock built like a pop watch. Every gear turning smoothly, no friction, no waste. The follow-up, January, exploded in the UK but didn't crack the US top 40. And that split tells you a lot about the mid-70s. America's radio lanes were crowded. Country rock here, disco there, singer-songwriters everywhere, and some brilliant records simply didn't find the right slot. Members of Pilot would go on to long studio careers, but for US listeners, the group lives forever inside this 3-minute lift. Put it on in a car, windows down, late afternoon, and the chorus does what it promises. The ordinary day turns a little unreal, like sunlight bending in your favor. US Nira 1. No one planned for this to take over the world. The story goes that kung fu fighting came together at the end of a studio session. Fast, cheap, and fun. Then the label flipped it to the A side, and the timing could not have been better. America was in love with martial arts films. The song grabbed that energy and turned it into a dance floor chant. The hi-hat stutters like quick punches. The strings swoop cartoon heroic, and Douglas hits every ha with a grin. It's tempting to see it as a novelty, but listen to the groove. The bass is warm and rolling, the percussion crisp, the call and response built to move crowds. The follow-up single didn't make the US top 40, and that makes sense. Crazes burn hot and fast.
Sudden motion made me skip. Now we're into a brand new trip. Everybody was cold.
Still, this record endures because it captures more than a fad. It bottles a specific kind of joy, the feeling of trying on a new hero in the mirror, the rush of being part of a room yelling the same line at the same time. Put it on and the floor fills. That's not novelty, that's pop power. This video is sponsored by The Lore Store on Amazon, your one-stop shop for music lovers across reggae, rock, pop, and hip-hop. We built it for real listeners who don't want to dig through 1,000 listings to find the right gear. Inside The Lore Store, you'll find 5 aisles. VIP, top, battle-tested essentials. Headphones, turntables, speakers, gig-safe earplugs, smart speakers. Reggae vibe, roots and lovers. Rock made easy, automatic decks, warm bookshelf speakers, vinyl care. Rock lore, classic rock must-haves, open back cans, simple amps, living room concert vibes. Pop lore, feel-good everyday setups, clean, clear speakers, easy streaming, nostalgia-friendly picks. Hip-hop must-haves, punchy bass without the muddle, closed-back headphones and living room systems that handle low-end, plus a rotating crate of old album vinyl if you're rebuilding a 60s, 90s collection. Every product page tells you who it's for, 3 pros, 1 con, and why we picked it. So you can choose with confidence. Flying soon? Check. VIP for noise canceling that tames plane roar. Mostly listening at home? Try open-back headphones that let live albums breathe. Want instant gratification vinyl? Our fully automatic turntable is 1 button from silence to music, and the record cleaning kit knocks down crackle so the bass tightens up. Headed to shows? Grab high-fidelity earplugs. Hands-free at home? Our smart speaker picks let you say, play 70s reggae or classic pop, and you're there. Deal alert. If you use the link in the description, you'll land on our curated picks with current best available Amazon pricing and active discounts where applicable. Prices change, so buy now to lock in today's deal. Tap the link in the description, pick your aisle, grab a favorite, and tell me which category you want me to build next. The Lore Store. Listen better, with gear that gets out of the way and lets the music live.
Named Al Capone, try to make that town his own, and he called his gang to war.
US number 1. A British band writes a movie in 3 minutes. Sirens, gangsters, a cop's family waiting by the radio. The storytelling is bold and a little exaggerated, like a comic book set to drums. And that's exactly why it worked. The chorus is massive. The snare snaps like a news bulletin, and the whole track gallops forward as if it can't wait to reach the happy ending.
Yes, indeed. And the sound of the battle rang.
American listeners didn't mind the geography quirks. They heard a hook and a cliffhanger and said, "Play it again." In the UK, Paper Lace were big with a different song. In America, this was their moment.
Had surrendered up or died. They were shouting and
After it hit #1, the band struggled to find another story this sticky for US ears. Radio likes clear lanes, and Paper Lace fell between them. Part pop, part show tune, part TV theme that never had a show. What lasts is the rush. You can picture the kitchen table, the mother praying, the door finally opening. It's pure melodrama delivered with conviction, and by the last chorus you're shouting along whether you believe the details or not.
Think of me and I'll be there. We had joy, we had
US #1, a goodbye song that sounds like a breeze. Terry Jacks took the bones of a French chanson about a dying man and smoothed it into a gentle pop farewell. The arrangement is spare: acoustic guitar, soft percussion, a few bright keyboard touches, and Jack sings as if he's speaking directly to someone across the table. The words are simple, almost childlike, which is exactly why they sting. We had joy, we had fun. Lands because most people can fill in the memories that line hides.
give me love and help me find the sun. And every time that
Critics sometimes call it too sweet, but that misses the point. In 1974, pop radio made room for feelings said plainly. Millions connected with the honesty, and the single became a world-scale event. Jax didn't follow it with another big US hit, which fits the pattern of songs that become larger than the artist's plan.
I wish that we could both be there. We had joy, we had fun.
Some careers are about catalogs. Some are about one song that finds the exact center of what people need to hear at a moment in time. This one did. Decades later, it still appears in films and family reels because it helps people say what is hard to say. Thank you, I remember. Goodbye.
bad, it was good. Louie had the bad.
US #1, a love song that walks straight into trouble. Brother Louie tells the story of an interracial couple pushed apart by family pressure, and it does it with zero sugarcoating. The record opens with a cool, stalking groove, drums planted, bass circling, and those stabbing strings that feel like sirens. Ian Lloyd sings the verses almost like a reporter, then leans hard into the chorus where the hook becomes a chant.
Louie, Louie, you're gonna cry.
There's drama in the arrangement too. Stop and go breaks, call and response backing parts, even a spoken word moment that sounds like a kitchen table confrontation. In 1973, pop radio was full of story songs, but few took on race this directly and still landed at #1. The band never matched it because the moment was unique, musically and culturally. Brother Louie had a built-in headline, a chorus you couldn't shake, and production that made every detail feel cinematic. The follow-ups didn't have that same lightning bottle mix, so the single became the identity. Listen now and you hear why it lasts. The groove is tight enough for clubs, the hook works in any decade, and the story still hits nerves. It's one of those records where pop music and real life crash into each other and sparks fly.
Oh, they were dancing in the moonlight, dancing in the moonlight.
US #13, warm keys, easy swing, and a chorus that makes strangers smile at each other. That's the whole design. The star of the track is the electric piano, chiming like streetlights coming on at dusk. The rhythm section never rushes, it just lets the singer glide into that promise. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight.
Born to never fight. You can't dance and stay uptight. It's super.
The lyric isn't complicated, but it's crafty. About a town where the night belongs to everyone. No fights, no fear, just a shared groove. The band itself was a loose international story. American players who'd spent time in Europe, drifting back into the US with a song that felt like summer air. They didn't become hit machines, but this one record put their name on an emotion most people know. That perfect night when the music is low, the conversation is easy, and the world feels lighter. It's why the song keeps coming back in films, commercials, and cover versions. It doesn't shout, it invites. By the last chorus, you're not just remembering the tune, you're remembering a night.
Going on to the spirit in the sky. That's where I'm gonna go.
US number 3. A Jewish folk rocker writes a gospel rock anthem in a fuzz storm. That contradiction is the magic. The guitar tone is a wall of velvet grit. The hand claps crack like a revival tent, and the backing singers lift every line like a choir. Greenbaum's vocal is plain spoken, which lets the sound around him do the preaching. The riff is caveman simple and absolutely perfect. You hear one bar, and the song is already in your head. Spirit in the Sky refuses to age because it blends opposites, sacred language and bar band swagger, heavy fuzz and sunny melody. It's also built like steel. Verse, break, chorus, no wasted motion, no weak link. Cover versions have topped charts in other eras, but the original keeps winning because it sounds both homemade and monumental, like a garage band trying to reach heaven and almost getting there. Put it on good speakers and the room becomes a little church with a dance floor.
If a daddy's rich, take her out for a meal. If a daddy's poor, just do what you feel.
US Burr 3. Skiffle heartbeat, jug band grin, and a chorus that smells like cut grass. Ray Dorset wrote the ultimate warm weather daydream and delivered it with nothing fancy. Acoustic strum, upright feeling bass, rattling percussion, a wheezy little lead line that might as well be a kazoo.
We're always happy, last for living, yeah, that's our philosophy.
The vocal is loose and smiling, the rhythm bounces, and the song invites you to step out of your own life for 3 minutes and just enjoy the sun on your face. It's easy to underestimate because it feels so casual, but that looseness is the craft. The track moves like a busker who happens to be a genius at getting a crowd to sing.
Yeah, we go driving or maybe we'll settle down.
It hit #1 almost everywhere else and became one of those pop standards that reappears every June whether you ask for it or not. The band never topped it in the US, and that's fine. Not every artist needs a long ladder of hits. Sometimes one perfect mood is enough, and this one defines a season.
Hey, Pop Lore family! Did you know only 1% of viewers are subscribed? If you love deep dives into pop legends, forgotten gems, and the stories behind the songs that shaped generations, hit that subscribe button right now. And don't forget to turn on LL notifications so you'll be the first to know when we premiere our next video. It's free, it helps Pop Lore grow, and it makes sure you never miss a single countdown or music story. Let's build this community together.
US #1. A Dutch psych pop band writes a hymn to a goddess and turns it into a global floor filler. The opening guitar riff is a flare in the night sky. Sharp, confident, unforgettable. Then Mariska Veris enters with a voice that slices and soars at the same time, cool as glass and strong as steel.
Yeah, baby, she's got it.
The lyric is pure myth, Aphrodite as a woman you'd follow anywhere. But the production is pop science. Tight drums, chiming rhythm guitar, a bass line that keeps the track locked and urgent. Venus was one of the first big reminders that world-class pop could come from anywhere.
I'm your Venus, I'm your fire, your desire.
It didn't matter that Shocking Blue wasn't British or American. The song was undeniable. Decades later, a new generation pushed it back up the charts with a cover, and the original still sounded fresh beside it. That's the mark of a classic hook. Time can repaint everything around it, but the core stays bulletproof. When Venus hits the chorus, the room lifts. It did in 1970, and it does now. The journey doesn't end here, pop lovers. Watch this next.